So let's get right into it. We're going to talk about something that a lot of people feel, but almost no one talks about. It's this paradox, right? You hit your goals, you check off all the boxes society told you to check, and instead of feeling fulfilled, you just feel empty. This is for anyone who's ever reached the finish line only to find a void waiting for them.
I mean, does this sound familiar? You've built the exact life you were supposed to want. On paper, everything looks great. You've got the skills, the stability, all of it. But then, when the noise stops, when you're alone with your thoughts, this cold, hollow feeling just rushes in. It's the exact space success was supposed to fill. And we really need to be clear about what this is and what it isn't. This isn't clinical depression. It's not just feeling sad. It's a totally different texture. It's almost the lack of feeling. A kind of black hole right in the middle of your chest where a sense of accomplishment was supposed to be. You feel like a ghost at your own victory party. And so, of course, this is the question that pops into your head. You look around, you see other people finding joy in simple things, and you just start to wonder, what is wrong with me? Am I broken? Or maybe I'm just ungrateful for everything I've worked for. Well, let me just tell you, the answer is no. You're not broken, and you're not ungrateful. Something much more interesting is going on here.
All right, let's get into the diagnosis. See, the core idea we're going to unpack is this. The problem isn't that you've lost your sense of meaning. It's actually the opposite. You've overprocessed it. You've reached a state of meaning saturation.
So what on earth is meaning saturation? Think of it like this. Your brain is an incredible simulation engine, and it has run the scenario of you achieving your goal so many times in such vivid detail that by the time you actually get there, well, the emotional reward has already been cached. You've literally pre-processed the joy out of it, leaving the real thing feeling like a flat, boring echo.
And this is a great way to understand it. There are kind of two ways our brains can process the world. You've got the dandelion brain. It finds joy in the surface layer. A party is fun because, it's a party. Simple. But then there's the orchid brain, which is really common in high achievers. It's hyper-connected. It doesn't just see a party. It sees all the tiny social dynamics, the hidden motives, the underlying structures, even how it's all going to end. It sees reality in ultra-high definition.
And this takes us straight to the neurobiology. Your brain has something called the default mode network, the DMN, and its job is to think about yourself and simulate the future. Now, in an orchid brain, these simulations are unbelievably vivid. We're talking 8K resolution. They feel so real that your brain's reward center starts pumping out dopamine while you're just thinking about the goal. So here's the kicker. By the time you actually achieve it, the neurochemical reward has already been spent.
And you can actually boil this whole feeling down to a simple equation. The void you feel is your 8K simulation fidelity divided by the novelty of reality. So when your internal mental movie of an event is way more detailed and exciting than the actual messy real-world event, the result is always going to be disappointment. Reality just can't keep up with your brain.
So I really want you to hear this. Let it sink in for a second. You are not empty. That feeling, it's a misinterpretation of the data. It's a mirage.
This is the real diagnosis. Your simulation saturated. Your brain has already lived the life you're trying to build, and it lived it in glorious high definition. So the 240p real-world version just feels blurry. And listen, this isn't a bug. It's a feature of your incredibly powerful mind.
Okay, so if you're not empty, what are you? This is where we reframe the whole experience. That void isn't a pit you've fallen into. It's a blank canvas. It's the space that's been cleared so you can finally build something real.
The reason you feel this nothingness is actually a sign of incredible insight. It means you've developed the mental clarity to see that a lot of society's goals and rewards, they're just low-resolution lies. You've seen through the game, and that's a superpower.
And this right here is the core of that realization. All those things you were told would create a foundation for your happiness, the awards, the fancy titles, the status, you've discovered that they're not structural. They can't actually hold the weight of a human soul. They're just wallpaper, pretty, but thin.
And yeah, having that realization is painful. It really is. But it is the most critical first step you can take toward what we call intellectual sovereignty, which is just the ability to define your own meaning, your own purpose, completely independent of what everyone else tells you. Okay, so we have the diagnosis and the revelation. Now what do we do about it? This is the protocol.
We're going to shift our whole mindset from passively searching for meaning to actively architecting it. This is your toolkit.
So here it is, the micro-meaning protocol. It's got 4 simple steps. 1. Somatic anchoring. You need to ground your simulation-obsessed brain in the real world with intense physical sensations. A blast of cold air, lifting a heavy weight. Anything that tells your brain, hey, reality is still high def. 2. The 1-bit purpose. Forget the 10-year plan. Focus on one simple binary task. Water a plant, write 1 sentence. We're lowering the scale from the overwhelming big picture to the immediate moment. 3. Strategic sub-optimization. I love this one. Intentionally do something imperfectly. This shatters that perfectionist simulation loop and forces your brain to grapple with messy, unpredictable reality. And finally, 4. Label the satiety. When you feel that emptiness creep in, say it out loud. I am not broken. I am saturated. Just saying it puts you back in control, back in the observer's seat.
So this brings us to the final mandate, the big shift. This is about moving from the despair of this sensitive orchid who feels everything too deeply to the intentional power of this sentinel who sees the system and then chooses to design a better one. This is the fundamental question to change in your mind. Stop asking that huge, unanswerable question, what is the point of life? That just feeds the void. Instead, ask a question you can answer, a question that grounds you right here, right now. What is the resolution of this moment? Focus on the tiny details, the texture, the immediate reality in front of you. And I want you to start seeing the void for what it really is. It is not a sign that you failed. It's the empty space, the cleared out lot where you finally get to build your own structure of meaning, a new architecture designed by you, for you.
And if you take one thing away from all this, let it be this. Your purpose was never to be some passive bucket waiting for the world to fill you up with its prepackaged meaning. Your high-resolution mind, your amazing orchid brain was built for more than that. It was built to be an architect.
So embrace that role, step back, observe the saturation, see it for what it is, and then start the real work, the work of an architect. Start small with the micronodes and begin to design a reality that can finally live up to the power of your own mind.